Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. It's time to talk sports again. I am Adeni Achishafe. AFCON relay is so close. It's starting on Sunday, and Cameroon right now as we speak is agog ahead of the 33rd edition of the African Cup of Nations. Well, a lot of Africans are already in Cameroon, Garoua, Yaoundé, and all the cities that will be hosting this edition of the Cup competition coming up in Cameroon. The host country are really happy that this particular event is coming up there. Well, joining me in the studio to talk about all the sporting stories I'll be having today on the show is Ayo Adams. Good to have you, Ayo.
Good to be here, Mr. Ine.
Good one there. Now, looking at what is in the air now, African Cup of Nations, 33rd edition.
So excited.
It's as if the whole Africa now, we are Cameroonians.
Yeah, we are all Cameroonians. We are all one when it comes to football. You know, football unites everybody. And Africa as a whole first, it's just the home of brilliant talent. And I'm glad that at least Nigeria is there and let's see what we can do.
Well, now let's look at some of the updates coming in from Cameroon, AFCON proper. We look at the African Cup of Nations as we are just trying to look at the updates there. Well, first of all, we look at the prize money. At the executive committee meeting they had yesterday, they agreed that the money was actually increased to 4.5 million euro. Now it's 5 million euro. What do you see to this? And they make sure they add to all the other ones, the runners, the first runner up, the second runner up, all the teams. They added at least 11% to each segment of the prize money.
I think it's a really good development, honestly, if you look at it. The cost of having players being flown down, and it's a COVID period, so things will be done differently, right? So for me, I think adding that amount of money to the prize money and then all those subsidiaries, it's a really good push. I mean, they've come from their clubs, they're going to play football, let them enjoy, and then let them have something to take home, something much more bigger than what they see. I mean, compared to other European tournaments, we are not as buoyant as other ones, but it's a step in the right direction. So it's already a benchmark. If the 5 million is a benchmark now, most definitely the next AFCON edition would not want to go below that. So it's only going to keep going up. And I think that's it's a good development, really good development.
A good development. Now, looking at the fact that we are looking at the AFCON updates coming in from the organizers now, CAF, Confederation of African Football, they organized AFCON and they came up with that idea, okay, let's improve on the money from 4.5 to 5 million euro. And as you just said, that we just have to appreciate the fact that they consider the players that are coming, leaving their clubs, going through all the normal logistics, and that will give them heart. So they have to add more money.
Definitely.
It was improved on before the AFCON will start, and now another improvement, 11%. I think I love this. That shows that Africa, CAF are really trying to put a lot of things in consideration ahead of AFCON. And now let's look at another one. Cameroon as a country that will be hosting AFCON, I think they are ready from the way it is. Do you think the Cameroon is ready?
Yes, I think so. Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that whether we like it or not, we can't keep postponing and postponing. Since June 2021 last year, then there were rumors when the Omicron variant came out that it was going to be postponed again, and CAF got a lot of backlash for wanting to postpone that anymore. I mean, the Euros were split across 10 countries with COVID in high peak. So why are we trying to step down ours? We would find a way to make it work. It's the world we live in. It is the world we live in. We can't defeat the fact that these things, some of the happenings, the health issues are out in the open. So we have to work with that. Cameroon, they've been waiting for this to happen. Samuel Eto'o, who just became their president of their federation, is so pumped. He wants it to happen. It's been over 50 years, and I think 1972 that was the last time they hosted the competition. It will be a slap on his face if you now want to postpone and postpone it to show that as if they are not, even if the readiness is not the 100%. Let's give it a try. Let's keep going. It's Africa. We are a continent that everyone looks up to. So I think Cameroon is ready. We've been seeing scenes from all across Cameroon, Cosmos, Yaoundé, all the places from some of the journalists that have been there, and some of the really great visuals. It is going to be a wonderful African Cup of Nations, and it's Cameroon. I mean, they should take it away. It's nothing beyond their powers.
It's nothing beyond their power. But looking at news coming in yesterday, it was an attack happened in Limbe, where some separatists actually agitating to cut away from Cameroon, the Anglophone, and that alone has sent some signals, although according to the Cameroonian security operative, that, well, they can handle it. They will handle it. That could actually send some jitters through the spines of some of the players.
Well, if we look at it, we have been very realistic. Which country or continent don't have security issues?
Yes.
Now, as long as they can keep it under lock and key and under check, I'm sure they will have deployed their security operatives to curb the situation, not to arouse any unwanted feelings from the players and fans. Because the most important thing, the players are going to be playing, but imagine an AFCON happening without fans. So we want to keep that. And that's the separatist issue. It's not new. It's what has been going on in Cameroon. So I'm sure that they already have mediums in place to keep those securities issues in check, and so it won't affect the AFCON. But I mean, AFCON must go on.
AFCON must go on. We're actually looking at the updates coming in from Cameroon, talking about the African Cup of Nations 33rd edition taking place there in that country. Well, to let you know that CAF, they actually add debts to the prize money. 5 million euro now, no longer 4.5 million euro. They're trying to up the price. And for all the other teams that will be participating, they also get the amount for qualifying. It's not easy to be in AFCON. 24 nations will be there, jostling for honors in Cameroon. Nigerian Super Eagles, alongside Egypt, Sudan, and Guinea-Bissau, will be slugging it out in the city of Garoua over there in the northern side of Cameroon. We'll be looking at the updates there. Now, let's come back home and let's leave AFCON and come, although we'll be going back to AFCON because matches will be coming up tomorrow there. But before we look at that, let's look at Super Eagles. Nigerian Super Eagles had their first, let me call it at least competitive match against Cotton Sports of Cameroon, and they were able to win 2-0 in that encounter. 2-0, Ahmed Musa and Samuel Chukwueze scoring. But the good thing is that we are looking at we are having focus on Super Eagles. They played, that was on Friday against Cotton Sport, 15-time winner when it comes to league winning in Cameroon. And we won 2-0. 2-0, Chukwueze and Ahmed Musa. And looking at the way they play, news featuring is that Nigeria really tried their best. Nigeria did well by the coach, that is the interim manager, Coach Iguavoin, trying to remove some players, leaving some players and all that.
Well, I think that match was overdue. They've not had a lot of time to play together, ranging from players coming in from their clubs and the disrespect that we got from some of the clubs not wanting to release some of the players, and the claims that the NFF sent the request letters very late, which might be true. But if you're being very, very honest and you understand what it means to play for your country, I don't say disregard the rules. I said be more lenient and understanding that regardless that if this came, yes, we know all the shenanigans that goes on behind the scenes, but simply because you know how the impact will be if they leave and then go play for their country. I know some of these players that they are very, very, they are strongholders in their teams. So it was overdue. I watched one of their training sessions in the stadium in Abuja, the MKO Stadium, and they weren't complete. So I couldn't even say, okay, I was not confident enough in what I was seeing based off the Chukwueze hadn't come in. Ojuaribu just flew in, I think, a day before they left. Ebueyibu joined them in camp. They were still a lot of sketches back and forth with Igalo not coming from Saudi Arabia, and if they were going to call Dessa from Feyenoord, so they were still not. So if you don't have, you're going to a competition, a major competition, the first biggest tournament in the year, and we should have had at the very least maybe 2 preparation games, but it didn't happen. So that game happening in Cameroon was way overdue, and I mean Iguavoin had the opportunity to pick in and pick out, see what his players have to showcase against the Pharaohs of Egypt, because it's going to be a really big game. It's going to be a really, really big game against the Pharaohs of Egypt. So Ahmed Musa scoring, he won't stop scoring. It's I will be very honest, it's not one of my favorites for now. He's been one of our favorites for a long time, but not for now. But I mean, if he still has something to give us from his talent basket, we should take it. Chukwueze is an amazing player for Villarreal. He's been. So is
Chukwueze your favorite now?
My favorite player in the Super Eagles has to be Taiwo Awoniyi.
Are you serious?
Yes, I really like him because I think for you to be able to come out, he was played in Liverpool, didn't really see the time to get into the spotlight. Then he went to Union Berlin in the Bundesliga, and he's among the top scorers in the Bundesliga, and they rely solely on him. I'm sure they're going to miss him while he's gone. I just feel that it's a new year. It's a new generation. We didn't get Osimhen, we didn't get Dennis because of and we didn't get Igalo. And I will also say Odion Ighalo, he was top scorer in the last edition. I was not a fan of him coming back from retirement because I feel like if you've retired,
you've had your time,
you've had the time, stay retired.
Step aside.
Yeah, we have a long list and pool of brilliant young attackers in the world. Let's just start transitioning into these young players so we can move forward. And for me, I think if the coach can lead, he started the lineup with Awoni yesterday. He didn't get a goal, but I'm sure he was instrumental. It won't be bad to have a direct pointsman up front there, be it Iheanacho and the other clique.
Now, still looking at the Super Eagles, news featuring is that Tyrone Ebue finally is in the camp. He has joined them. So we are happy to let you know that Tyrone Ebue has joined the Super Eagles camp over there in Cameroon. And we have the whole house filled up. It's only Jamilu Collins now. They are still waiting for. But what is this surprising me is that Jamilu Collins in Germany, Paderborn and all that. What happened? What's the problem? What's holding him?
Well, some of these things are very relative to coaches and who they want to field, honestly. We might see situations where players just come and you just become the coach's favorite and you keep playing. Like Ebue was included in Venezia's lineup for their last game before they let him go. So it was quite a spectacle when I still saw his name on the match sheet, and I'm like, wow. So that shows you how instrumental Nigerian players are to their teams, right? So, but for Collins, I mean, we can't all have our cakes. So he happens to be one of the ones that is not the coach's favorite. But eventually, if he keeps proving himself, it's football. You have to keep proving yourself repeatedly in training until the coach looks. I mean, look at Phil Jones for Manchester United for over 2 years. He hasn't played football. Eventually, he got to play. So just have to keep pushing yourself, and let's hope he can get onto this thing. But I think we have a packed squad. Ebue coming it's a great sight for me. It's where we have Sanusi, we have Olaino. Our backline, I don't think we have any problem in the backline.
So, okay, now people have been talking about the midfield that we are short there, having just 5 players that could handle our midfield. Do you think really we are really short there?
Yes, and our midfield has been one of our biggest strengths in our history.
Football, yes.
We have had Olise, we've had JJ Okocha, we've had Aruna, Mikel Obi. A lot of brilliant players in there that one touch of the ball, they can turn the game around. And so far since, I think Mikel was the last set, so far as he stepped away, there's been no spark in the midfield. There's been nothing in that midfield to see and tell you that Super Eagles is a team to fear. So, Nwakali is probably the only creative person that we have. For one, when I first saw Joe Aribo play for the Super Eagles, I think it was against Brazil, he was really great. But since then, there's been no magic. It's just been there. And indeed, he's one of the best defensive midfielder in the world. We know what he can do. He's not the creative player. He's the player who can nip it in the bud, predict offensive threats, and so on. So we are short. And I would love to see what Estine Gavon needs to do in that middle.
Now, looking at the fact that a lot of Nigerians are looking, maybe if we hadn't put Ighalo's name on that list, now we are short there too because the slot is wasted. We'll have at least brought in one midfielder that could have at least stepped in to take it as number 6.
Yes.
So it's so painful.
All these things boil down to preparation. I mentioned that the club should be lenient with the players, but let's be very honest. There are certain things that just rules are rules. Will not be broken for anybody. If you don't send those request lists ahead of time, you won't be able to get these players because clubs, the major time during the football season is spent with the football club. So they cater for these players more than the national teams do. So most times they have the right to call their shot, right? So eventually, if they are not Genero had a personal likeness for Ighalo, and rightly so because he's one of his best players. He was the top scorer in the last AFCON, so which is rightly so, but he was retired. And we didn't really look at the place where we had problems to fix. Defending, we have pools of players. Attackers, I don't think anybody needs to talk about Nigerian attackers. They've been blistering around the world. Our midfield was a place, and nothing was done.
They couldn't see.
And I wonder how do you have so much talent or so much legends in the technical backroom, and they couldn't see that particular place is really a problem. We don't. Our last game for the qualifiers, we couldn't piece together 5-10 passes. Super Eagles, we couldn't do that.
That shows that our midfield is really very hollow.
It's very, very, very hollow, and we need to find a way. We need to find a fix. So let's say if we're playing forward for the Super Eagles, if they can't find a way to mend the midfield, then they have to, with a must, get the ball across to the wingers, that's Musa and Chukwueze, so they can stretch the pitch.
And let the flanks open.
And then be very wary that Awini is up there, and if you put in the ball, you'll be able to get at the back of the net. But if you play a team who wants to play you in the middle of the park, now that's what teams will target because they know that is our weakness. If they want to play us in the middle of the park, how do we survive that? So, but then there's Ndidi, and there are other players to support. I would hope that Senegal has something in his back pocket that he wants to show us.
Now, we've still been talking about the Super Eagles, reviewing the Eagles' preparation. They play against Scotland Sport of Cameroon. It was 2-0. Well, it's not about the goals now, but at least getting to fix that team, because we know that our midfield really needs to be fixed as it is right now. Well, Augustin Eguavoyen, the interim coach of the Super Eagles, is also trying his best to make sure he gets it done, looking at the midfield where we have short legs there because of only 5 players. Though if anything happens, so we don't have a creative midfielder except maybe in Wakali. Indeed, is defensive, and other players are not. You can't say they are best when it comes to midfield play the way we used to have it so juicy before. But as it is right now, we just hope that Eguavoyen will be able to at least work on that particular midfield. Though the slot of Igalo is out, there's nothing we can do about it. Instead of 28, we have 27. And if you talk about the strikers and the defenders, yes, we are okay. But the midfield, now they couldn't see that the entire technical
team. That's the powerhouse of any team. That's the powers of any team. Barcelona ruled the world with their midfield. Madrid did the same thing with 3 Champions League with their midfield. How can you say how did they not see it? How we are lacking here?
Yes, lacking.
There would be nothing wrong in going to Europe and go and look for some of those players, or in the MPFL, go in there and look for some of these players.
There are so many
players in there that can provide magic. So why that particular place where you know that was our source of inspiration? I mean, once we see JJ Okocha on that ball, we know what would happen. Once we see Mikel push the ball ahead, we know what will happen. When Aruna came in too, we know what would happen. So how all of a sudden none of them are there? And I mean, there's Alex Iwobi, but I'm not really a fan of how he plays. He has not really impressed us, even on the club side. He's just always been somewhere. He's not gone from here to here. I mean, if you look at Victor Osimhen from Lille, the Napoli, and you could see that the politics the Napoli is trying to play shows how much they need him.
Yes.
When he went out on injury, he showed 3-4 games at the stretch. They couldn't win anyone, so they had a reason for holding him back. And then with the whole COVID cases, so how did they not even? It beats me. It really beats me that we have people in the backroom staff very knowledgeable about football and tactics, and they could not see that. From that last game we played before the end of the qualifiers, that was the game I think everybody looked at. Even Nigerian home fan looked at like there is a problem in our midfield. And we need to solve that. If we don't, we are going to get punished drastically. And
looking at the team we're going to be playing in Egypt, the way the team right now, the level they are, let's be candid with ourselves. We just have to be very strong to hold that team.
We are not favorites against Egypt. Let's be very honest. We are not favorites against Egypt. We have one of the best players in the world up top with Mohamed Salah. And regardless of him being the best player, they are also some of the list of the teammates in the squad. Some of them are home-based players, and they play together a lot.
In Egyptian, talking about their team now, only 5 played abroad. Only 5. Trezeguet, El Neni, Salah, and 2 other players, Suleimani and all that. So out of 28, 23 are based in Africa. They understand the terrain so much. You look at the team of Guinea. I just checked the list out. I was like, what? Look at Sudan. Only 2 play abroad, or 3. Check Guinea. Yes, just like us. Majority plays in Portugal, France. So maybe they have only 2 or 3 home base. So Nigeria and Guinea-Bissau are having the same style of bringing foreign players. But Egypt and Sudan, majorly in Africa.
Well, as long as you have people who
can do the business,
who can do the
doesn't
business,
matter where
they're coming from. So if you put the bulk of foreign players in there and they can produce magic, why not? And it's just, for Egypt, is, like you said, they are home-based players. They've played together a lot. Whether or not together, they understand their style of play. At the end of it, if push comes to shove, throw it to Mohamed Salah. Let's see the magic he can create. But with Nigerians who we have multiple players from abroad, the issue I just had with players with multiple players abroad is how can you get them together in shape to play. If you look at when Argentina won the Copa America, it was a pool of different players that Scolani brought together to win that competition. So can Eguavon do the same thing, piece them together? We are underdogs. I keep saying let's be honest because that's how I see it. I don't think Super Eagles is letting anybody.
We are not rated at all, as according to the way it is right now. Nigeria is not rated. In fact, it's calm. Nobody's mentioning
Nobody's
Nigeria.
Saying anything.
Egypt, Senegal, Algeria, and all the likes, Morocco. Nobody's looking at Nigerian at all. And I love that. I love the fact that there's no much glamour, glitz and glamour behind the Super League. You know, at times, I noticed something about our players. Each time you rate them so high, they flop.
Yeah.
And at time when you, in fact, write them off at your own peril. So it means that Nigerian Super Eagles, I love the fact that right now they are not being rated. So maybe that will come to their, at least, sense that, okay, nobody is giving us that chance. Let's prove to them that we can do this.
I think that's the next thing to do. For me, I was speaking to a friend of mine and I said, this squad, they're young players. So what exactly are they waiting for? This is the time for them to show themselves. When we won in 2013, it was an opportunity. That was even a time we were not even rated also, but we did. And when the other young boys have been doing well too in their own rest, the Golden Eaglet and the other likes, they've just been players who just came together and they played and they won. So we don't really have to be I like what you said when you spoke about the pressure. Nigerian players have that thing about not being able to absorb the pressure. It gets into their head, and it's players. So if you're not managed properly, if you're not mentally and psychologically, if you're not there and to understand that is just noise. Where we need to show ourselves is here. And honestly, they have a lot to prove. Because first, we've not even qualified for the World Cup. We have playoffs coming in January. So the Nations Cup is a place to restore that confidence back to the Nigerian home fans who we've not left their back. Well, some people have. But some of us are still waiting to see, can they produce a magic? Because for me, if you win the African Cup of Nations, it's a magical turnout for us. But
because you are not being rated.
You're not being rated. So that gives you a lot of room. The media is on Salah, is one of the best players in the world. The media is on Sadio Mane, is one of the best players. Edward Mendy. The media is on Mahrez. Sebastian Haller was the top scorer in the Champions League. Okay, no problem. Osimhen is now around, so there is no attention. They're not dragging attention on any one of them. Dennis, who was in Billitrines form in Premier League, is also now around. So the calm is there. Retain your calm. Play as a unit. They have individual brilliances. These players are not. Ndidi is a brilliant player. Joaribo can't be left out from Rangers team. A way we can see Sanusi from Porto. Awoni is also a brilliant player. Chukwueze also, the moment he came back to Villarreal, he got him back into the squad. So these are players, individually they are strong. Coach,
maybe that's why the captain now, talking about Ahmed Musa, saying, well, you understand the fact that a lot of Nigerians are looking at Salah, this, Salah, that, but he said, we have Chukwueze as our own star, and we have other players that can withstand the heat coming from Mo Salah.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's right. I think it's right to put that out there. So, one, for confidence sake.
Yes, I like the fact that as a captain, he tried to instill confidence on the other players so that they can see that, yes, if our captain can say this, then let's believe.
Because also himself, he's also been a player we've looked to for inspiration against Argentina.
And the experience is there for him.
The experience is
let
there.
Them know who is Salah. If I can hold, Messi, if we did it against Argentina, then we should be able to do it against Egypt.
And it now boils down to whoever is playing, who is going to be handling Salah. I think it has to be Sanusi or Eboué, one of them. Just stand firm. The young boy from Leicester City did the same thing against him when they lost the game.
And he couldn't move.
And he couldn't move. So stand firm. Don't let it get into your head. It's one thing that always happens to Nigerian players when we play against, especially, I don't know how Universe has done with Argentina. We always come against Argentina.
Argentina is like, maybe, I don't know how it comes that you can just tag, if we even go online, if they will write there the arch rivals, Ghana, but you see Argentina
and Nigeria. And for one thing, if I always feel like the call for Messi always get, I'm a Messi fan, but whenever it comes to Nigeria, let's do our thing. And then Mo Salah is here. I think the players they are firm enough to do what they need to do. It's just being able. A football game is won by scoring goals. So at the end of the day, whether you hold Salah or you don't hold Salah, if you are not scoring at the end, at the back of your own attack, then there's nothing to talk about. Get the goal at the back of the net. Let's win some of these games.
That's it, coming from Ayo Adams here. We've been talking about the AFCON. We talked about the AFCON update and also the Super Eagles preparation, focusing on Nigerian team. The Super Eagles, they must fly. They just have to fly high ahead of Egypt, Sudan, and also Guinea-Bissau. Now let's go back to Cameroon. And this time around, let's look at the matches that will be coming up on Sunday. That will be the opening. That will be the match that will be heralded. The AFCON 33rd edition, Cameroon versus Burkina Faso. Well, I think the way it is right now, the host country, Cameroon, they are ready. And Cameroon playing against Burkina Faso, you be expecting a bomb to drop on the pitch that day. Because both teams, I think they are both French-speaking countries, and also they understand themselves. They have strong, physically strong, well-built kind of players. Physically strong. Ethiopia, although let's take it one by one. Cameroon versus Burkina Faso. That will be a match that will be coming up on Sunday. 2 matches will be coming up in Group A now. Cameroon, Burkina Faso, then before we go to Ethiopia, Cape Verde. Now, Cameroon, we look at their players against Burkina Faso. One-on-one, you just want to rate them
higher.
In fact, you want to say, okay, maybe you say, oh, they are same, because physically they are both strong on the pitch, on any perimeter I want to use to measure the two teams. But I think I want to see Cameroon, because of the home support of being the host nation. They want to get at least to steal that show.
Well, they want to create a buzz for their fans. I mean, it's the first time in 50 years, so you have to come correct. It was how when South Africa hosted the World Cup in 2010. They came correct. When they first came, they were there. Shabalala and everybody, they were there. You could feel the heat. So Cameroon would want to bring that buzz back, that electric feeling amidst everything that's been going on in their country. So the football is a place where, who might know, this might just be the time where they would even use the opportunity to curb all their security issues, but still, they have to show something on the pitch of play. And like you said, all African teams are known for their physicality. That's one thing that we know. So it's toe-to-toe. It's fist-to-fist. The Lions and the Stallions are going against one another. Well, we will see who will bow for who, but I think Cameroon should be able to defeat Burkina Faso.
They should watch out for a particular player called Njie there. That player is a very good player.
He's brilliant.
It's going to be a big one between Cameroon. The fact that they are the host nation, I can imagine the boisterous stadium, what will be happening in Yaoundé, and all the support, the shout coming from the fans, and would they be coming with Vuvuzela now? Don't mind me. Okay, now let's look at Ethiopia versus Cape Verde. Cape Verde at the last AFCON, they shocked everyone. You know, they started like building their team little by little. That small nation, let me use with all due respect to, but when you look at the land mass, it's a very small nation. But in football now, Cape Verde are beginning to, they are growing. They are really growing. But against Ethiopia, who we know, they've also won the Nations Cup a very long time ago. In fact, Ethiopia is they were among the 3 nations that played the first edition of AFCON in 1957. Over then, Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia. So Ethiopia, they've been one of the oldest nations in AFCON history for the past 65 years now, and they'll be playing against Cape Verde, also in Group A. So these 4 teams now, if you are to rate, who do you think will top? Cameroon, Ethiopia, Burkina Faso, and Cape Verde. Top, first, and second in their group.
First, I think Cameroon and Ethiopia for me.
You are not rating Burkina Faso?
Well, I think they are there, but it just seems to see how if they lose to Cameroon if they lose to Cameroon in the first game, they would be looking to win the next game. Whoever wins Ethiopia and Cape Verde's game has a upper hand on the next game. So if let's hypothetically say Ethiopia wins the game against Cape Verde, it will now be trying to protect their own lead. That's if Cape Verde does not come with an upset, because they've also been developing and building themselves. But Cameroon first place, between Ethiopia and Burkina Faso second place.
You are rating Cape Verde. But seriously, looking at the way it is, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, Cape Verde, look, the score line between Cameroon, Burkina Faso, I'm looking at, I know it's going to be a very tough match, because it's going to be the first match, and a lot of people attention will be on that match, so it could be very tough. Even for Cameroon, the host nation, you might find it very difficult if they underrate Burkina Faso. I'm seeing Burkina Faso springing up surprise. They have to be very careful. Ethiopia, Cape Verde, maybe it's going to end in 1-1 or thereabouts. Right?
Very, yeah.
Now, Senegal, we are just trying to do looking at the teams that will be playing. Senegal, Zimbabwe, is it walloping?
Do we need to talk about that? Well, but still, Senegal they're a packed team, and there's this unifying factor within the Senegalese team.
The Teranga Lions.
Yes, they are just even still towards the last edition. They were unfortunately they couldn't beat Algeria in the finals, but you could see they're still back. They have Mendy in goal. They have Mane. Oh my God, he's just a wonderful player to look at. When he's home, he's brilliant. So I think Zimbabwe will have a lot to deal with at the end of the day.
Okay, so Senegal against Zimbabwe. In fact, we know that Zimbabwe are actually going through a lot because, in fact, as it is, I still remember when they had to they removed their president, issue of corruption certainly for Zimbabwe. So participating at the Nations Cup is very dicey. They said they don't even mind not coming. Another country will take over. They don't mind, according to the FA, their football federation president now. We're just trying to have an overview, just briefly. Although AFCON is in the air, is starting. We're looking at the teams that are playing. Senegal against Zimbabwe. I expect a wallop in there. I really expect, but you just have to be very careful because Zimbabwe might just get.
It's football. Upsets
can happen. Maybe they will get the spirit of their former president, Robert Mugabe. Okay, Guinea versus Malawi. Another match, big one. Guinea, Malawi. You look at Guinea, very tough nation when it comes to football.
Very, very tough.
You just have to look. A particular name is always coming up in that team. Kamara is always there. You have a lot of Kamara in
like
Guinea.
It or not, it's always there.
So Morocco versus Ghana too. Morocco, another big match. Morocco, Ghana.
It's a very big
one. In fact, it's like Nigeria, Egypt.
Yeah, it's a very big
Morocco,
game.
Ghana will be a match that a lot of people want to see. What's going to happen between Morocco and Ghana?
I can't even predict that game because they're coming with brilliant players there. Ghana, they've always been spectacles, whether in the Nations Cup, whether in the World Cup. They've always been there. And their players are back here again. Their youths are there again. And Morocco, I can't wait to see Achraf Hakimi just do something. So there's a lot of inspiration coming from some of these players. It's going to be it's probably one of the toughest games in the group stages. So, but I would lean towards Ghana, if I'm to predict.
Okay, as a West African man. Go ahead.
I would lean towards Ghana, but there's just one thing that's been happening so far in football in the past couple of years. There's this new transition where you can't even predict anything anymore. If a team is ready to play, they will defeat whoever is. If you're bigger, nobody cares anymore. If you're ready to play on the pitch of play, you play and you win and you go home.
So that means Comoro should be able to defeat Gabon then. Comoro Gabon.
That will probably be the biggest upset in African history.
But in Comoro's team now, they have about 4 brothers that will play for Comoros. That's like a team of a family team. They know themselves, so don't underrate them. Don't think because they are a very small nation.
But
against Gabon,
the experience.
Aubameyang, as we heard that, although he's still under COVID-19 issue, so we don't know if he'll be playing or not. But really, Gabon should be able to defeat Comoros.
Now, they should be able to do so. And
Comoros say don't underrate us.
Well, everybody will say don't underrate us until you get to the pitch of play. But I'm just very worried about Gabon without Captain Aubameyang. And even if he's around, he's not been playing football for the past couple of weeks due to whatever's happened with him at Arsenal. So they just need to show up.
Okay, now we look at Nigeria and Egypt, although that's a big one on Tuesday will be happening. We're just having at least one chit-chat on the teams that will be playing. Nigeria and Egypt expected. Nigeria will win. Let's not argue.
Yes, let's not
Nigeria
argue.
Will win that match. Let's take that as a win for us. Believe you me, whatever you are saying in your mind, I believe that Nigeria can win this. Sudan versus Guinea-Bissau in our group. Sudan, Guinea-Bissau. Who are you supporting there? They should play draw, right?
Yeah.
So that we top that group.
Maybe
the competition is going on.
Yeah, we started again.
Algeria, Sierra Leone. I think I want to tilt towards Algeria against Sierra Leone.
Yes, they are defending champions. They have a lot.
The Phoenix of Algeria.
Yeah, they have a lot to prove. They have very lot to prove. When you come back, being the champion of a competition, you're holding the trophy, a lot of people are looking at you, a lot of people, and they're also looking at themselves. So can we recreate that spectacle that we did in the last edition? Let's see if they can. Okay, now Equatorial Guinea versus Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, but Cote d'Ivoire, that's the right name now, but Holla, a player that really he has been standing out in his team over there, now coming to play for Cote d'Ivoire against Equatorial Guinea.
I think I see Cote d'Ivoire winning this match.
I'm quite amazed as to how Allah turned his own vision around, he turned his own history around. I mean, the history that he came with from West Ham as being a player being left out, then he went to Ajax and he just picked. And then in the Champions League, he's current leader with 10 goals. That's a lot of goals in the group stages. So I'm sure everyone in this country is looking at him saying he was so eager to leave Ajax to come back home. I mean, there was this issue with him and the press saying, do you want to represent your country?
Yes, I love that he stood his ground. Yes,
and that's one thing that we need to do. And you can see how important and crucial African players are to their teams. When it comes to whether it's scoring goals, whether it's defending, whether it's manning the midfield. He's one of the biggest players. So, yeah, we can say he's one of the biggest players in the world. I mean, you're leading the Champions League chart. You have to be recognized. So he also has now, what we've seen in Europe, come and do it at home.
Good one there. Tunisia, Mali expects a big one because it's Malians are very, very strong team. And now Mauritania, Gambia also, well, let them play themselves, they know themselves. Now we've been at least looking at the 1, 2, 3 minutes concerning the African Cup of Nations 2021, although it's going to be 2022 now, March schedule that we'll be looking at from the studio now. Well, let's divert that. Let's come home. Let's go back to Nigeria and talk about the NPFL, Nigerian Professional Football League. Match day 5 will be coming up. A lot of matches will be coming up. 10 matches this weekend. As we speak right now, we hope that everything will go well. Lobby Stars are quite united. Heartland versus Wiki Tourist Remo will be at home against Lati United. Dakada, attention Bill Dakada, because of what happened against Nasarawa United. They will be playing Benin City at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium there. They just have to be very careful. Niger Tornadoes against Rivers, Sunshine against Kano Pillars, Shooting versus Eyimba. Wow, that would be a big match. Everybody want to see Shooting Stars of Ibadan versus Eyimba. And you have Katsina versus Gombe. Let's just look at 1 or 2. Eyimba versus Shooting.
Well, I think I'd go for Eyimba.
Go for Eyimba against Shooting Stars. Why?
Even if Shooting Stars are my people, but you have to look at how they've set up so far. Their new coach has been good to the team.
Okay, maybe you are trying to rate Finidi ahead of Eddie Tagoe.
I'm just saying that he's a new man and he's instilled new spirits, and we all know the flow of the NPFL. Home team always has the highest advantage, even if it's changing a little bit. But yeah, I think Eyimba might be able to take the day or just have a draw. Okay, now looking at Remo Stars versus Plateau United, if you want to look at that Remo Stars, they seem to be like Atalanta. Yeah, they're topping the table, I guess. I think they're topping the table.
Surprising everyone.
And they're surprised, yeah, it maybe it's their turn to reshow. And funny enough, it's true, even last season, there were just a lot of internal issues with them.
Before they qualified.
And then, it's like I said, the psychological effect of players. If you can get your head in the game, aside what is happening off the pitch, because what happened off the pitch will also affect you, but when you get on the pitch, make sure that you're ready to take home those 3 points. So let's see if they can just wow us this season. Well,
Dakada versus Nasarawa United, another match to watch because of what happened to Dakada. One of their former assistant coach slapping one of the ref, talking about Sunday Ethiopia versus Sonny Baba. That's another story for another day. Now, Dakada Nasarawa expect a lot of matches there that will be coming up in the MP match day 5 for the NPFL. Now, let's talk about some matches that will also be coming up in Europe. Our time is running out. Let's quickly look at the La Liga Santander, Primera Liga, some people call it. Now, let's look at matches that will be coming up this weekend in the La Liga Santander, where a lot of matches quickly. We look at Levante. Levante will be out against Mallorca. Rayo Vallecano against Real Betis. Sevilla hosts Getafe. You just have to look at the La Ceramica Estadio, where Villarreal play their home match against Atletico. Big match there, Villarreal versus Atletico Madrid. Quickly, Adams. Villarreal Atletico.
Atletico Madrid came back to the new year with a win after 3 games, I think 3 to 4 games defeats. So I think it's a big game for them. Villarreal, they would meet Chukwueze, but then there's Gerardo Moreno, there's Danjuma, so there are a lot of players there who can spark up. But Atletico Madrid will be looking to win that game because they're just points behind, they're just points ahead of Barcelona. I'm a Barcelona fan, so
yeah, you have to support your team.
So I have to support my team, but I think Atletico Madrid, they might be able to do something. But the last game ended in a 2-2 draw, which was a mistake by one of the goalkeepers at the end of the game. But Atletico Madrid might hope.
Okay, your team, Barcelona versus Granada. Do you see them winning?
Yes, I do.
Oh, at least
I'm just extremely optimistic about the setup.
Real Sociedad, that's Real Madrid now against Valencia, a big one at the Santiago Bernabeu. That match, another big match, Real, Valencia, Villarreal, Atletico. So let's look at Real, Valencia.
Well, Real Madrid would have to win because the shocking defeat to Getafe is something that Ancelotti would not let sit down with him. And Valencia haven't won in Santiago Bernabeu I think in years for now. I think probably 4 or 5 years.
They want
now.
to work at least. Let's see if they can break the record.
So if they can break the record, fine. It's a year of breaking record. Maybe that's their New Year resolution. They might be able to break this record. But Real Madrid would be looking to increase their lead at the top of the table. So I think a win for Real Madrid, easy win.
Easy win. Well, we just look at the matches coming up in La Liga. There are two big matches, Real Madrid versus Valencia. I have to give it up to Villarreal, also hosting Atletico Madrid. Now, let's go to Italy. Let's talk about the Italians. They have fixtures for this weekend. Matches will also be coming up, a lot of matches. Quickly, we have Empoli being at home against Sassuolo. Roma against Juventus is going to be another big one. Roma got beaten by AC Milan in just their last match, and they'll be playing another big one against Juventus. Although this time around in the city of Rome against Juventus. Inter Milan, the table toppers versus Lazio. Big one. That's going to be one there.
It's going to be a very, very big game. It's going to be a very, very big game.
The two big games beside them, just Roma and Juventus, Inter, Lazio.
And I think Inter Milan are in good form. Simeone came in, and you'd probably think the way Conte left the team, there's going to be a lot of deficit, but he just came and improved how the team plays. So I think against Lazio, we're going to really see a big game because Mauricio Sarri is not going to let down anything. So it's going to be a spectacle, but I might be leaning towards Inter Milan.
Inter Milan for win, then Roma to lift, right?
Roma, so Roma, they are not consistent enough for me. They win today, then tomorrow they drop. And the game they win, you see how much they play. You think, oh, they've gotten their group together. And then the following game, they associate against Milan, same thing happened. Juventus, they are gradually building their step back. Allegri said Morata is not going anywhere. And then Chiesa is back.
Now let's go to German Bundesliga quickly. Matches that will be played this weekend. Although Bayern Munich shockingly lost against Borussia Mönchengladbach yesterday, where they lost 1-2, even though Lewandowski scored, but it was not enough. They lost. Now we look at the other matches for this weekend. Bochum 1840 against Wolfsburg. While Hertha Berlin play host to Cologne. Borussia Dortmund will be away to Eintracht Frankfurt. You have FC Augsburg away to 1899 Hoffenheim. Greuther's fourth will be hosting Stuttgart. Those are the matches. Union Berlin, another big match there versus Bayern Leverkusen. Bayern Munich losing yesterday.
Bayern, well, it's not the first time they lose to Mönchengladbach. The Gladbach just know how to do it. And Nagelsmann was so eager to play that game, and eventually they lost the game. Gladbach always find a way to just come back, and they just know the pressure points of Bayern Munich. They know where to press them from.
They got it.
And they always get it. So, I mean, it's a good one for them to start the year.
Okay, we are looking at the matches over this weekend in the German Bundesliga. Well, Bayer Leverkusen against Union Berlin, big one there. I just have to look at another big match. Dortmund against Eintracht Frankfurt. That's another match to look at. Leipzig against Mainz 05. Those are the matches that will be coming up this weekend. Now, let's go to France. Let's look at the French Ligue 1 matches that we play this weekend too. We are looking at them, at least having a roundup of all the matches. Lens against Reims. I have Lyon against PSG, big match there. Lyon against PSG. Likes of Ayoa will be there. Messi, Mbappe, and all the likes. Although I learned that Messi has tested positive to COVID-19, so they'll be happy.
So, well, PSG, they already have the league in hand for me. So it's just let them just keep the pressure on. Keep the pressure on, keep going. But the game against Lyon is never an easy game. Never, ever an easy game. It's a game that brings a lot of fight into the game, a lot of highlights. So let's see if PSG can take another win and just keep surging forward. I mean, 5-10 matches to go, they might have just won the league. I'm
still looking at the French League 1, Marseille defeating Bordeaux yesterday. That was a good one from Marseille.
Yeah,
at least they are trying to, if you look at French League 1, PSG, Lyon, Monaco, Marseille, it's always like that.
Always.
And now Bordeaux, they seems to be dropping kind of, I read them when you have a lot of Nigerians there that plays that, you know, anywhere Nigerians are playing, you want to give little attention.
Yeah.
Good. Now, let's quickly move away from this, although we've looked at PSG versus Lyon, the biggest match that will be coming up in the French League 1 for this weekend. But now, the biggest thing that came out also yesterday from FIFA Best Award that will be coming up. We have three finalists, Lewandowski, Lionel Messi, and our African brother, Mo Salah. The three of them are now the finalists, and that's the prime of the whole award. Other segments are there, other categories, but this is the FIFA Best player that nominated the three finalists. Messi, Lewandowski. Looking at Messi has already scooped Ballon d'Or. I think this should go to Lewandowski. From me.
Well, for me, I would say let's see them judge. But I will definitely lean towards Messi. Any time, because I feel like he's had
at least Barcelona factor.
Yeah,
right?
he's had a great year. But Lewandowski won the award last year, the FIFA Best. He's put up a really good performance this year. For me, he's the only person who can match up Messi when it comes to the ties.
But to be candid, really, because the Ballon d'Or, although a lot of people were not too happy that Messi got it, that Lewandowski deserved, since he was supposed to win last season, but it wasn't to be, and this time around, Messi got it, and this time they just want to let Lewandowski win this one.
Well, I don't. It shouldn't be a compensation game.
Yes.
It shouldn't be like a carryover.
Are you telling me that Messi was not being compensated for the Ballon d'Or?
I don't think so.
Come on, Lewandowski deserves it. Let's be candid. Because you are
well, if we're looking at it in that manner, we judged as a
41 goals for the whole season. Salah 31. Messi, yes, he did well Barcelona, but really
Messi winning the Copa America was the edge.
Okay,
it was
I agreed with the Copa America, but with Lewandowski, looking at his performance and the fact that a lot of people were looking at, this Ballon d'Or, maybe somebody will just break it between Ronaldo and Messi. We are tired of it. Let someone just, and then boom, we went to Messi.
There was a prediction I read a couple of weeks ago, which predicted in 2021 that we wouldn't even see players like Messi and Ronaldo in the fold. That shows how much consistent they've been. So eventually when the championship that eluded Messi went off and he won it, I mean, everyone in the world just wanted him to win it. Football felt it was time for him to win it. Well, Lewandowski was excellent, but I will lean towards Messi.
You lean towards Messi, I will lean towards Lewandowski. He deserves to get this FIFA Best Award. Hopefully, by the time the award is finally announced, the winner, let it go to this man called Lewandowski. I don't know. You see that something is wrong somewhere that he doesn't want to win award or what?
Well, for him, I think the determinant factor between Messi and Lewandowski would result down to their countries.
But naturally, maybe, I think if you check, a lot of journalists will want to vote for Messi when it comes to...
Always.
Yes.
Always.
Maybe they should change that.
And I think, like I said, the difference between both of... Before, with Messi and Ronaldo, they were both great in their teams. They were both great in their countries. So there was a
maybe Lewandowski is missing the issue of country here.
Yeah, his country is always the missing link. If anytime we spoke about it, it was always down to let's go to Argentina and Poland. And when you look at both of them, Poland left in the group stages with I think just 2 points, and he scored a couple of goals there. But that was it. But that's his own downtime.
He's off from the club side.
Club side was down the
countryside.
So when you now look at the trophy, which holds more waters, Copa America clearly holds more water than the Bundesliga.
Oh my goodness. Well, Barcelona fan will never ever wanted to give an award to another player of any club. So just looking at the fact that when Messi came from Barcelona to PSG, so what do you expect from Mario Adams? I expect to support Messi. But really, hopefully that Lewandowski will get this. We've been looking at the FIFA Best Award, the finalists, the 3 finalists. Mo Salah, wait. Is it that Mo Salah too has been, although really, we know that there's no way we beat these guys. Yeah. But at least it's a honor.
We're looking at Mo Salah for next year. So if
maybe next year.
Yeah, I mean that's this year.
The way it's going, this year. The way it's going, I think it's consistent. Mo Salah could actually scoop.
If Egypt produce a miracle in the AFCON and they win it, that's
in Liverpool.
That's a big edge for him.
To score.
And if he continues to score, well, maybe they may not. If they don't win the Premier League, they continue to score. It's undoubtedly that he would eventually emerge as the top scorer in the league. And the assist is also there. And it's not even about the goals and assists. His performance has been excellent.
So Egypt, Liverpool could actually propel.
Just propel. And then Champions League. Let's see wherever it gets to. You wouldn't be calling for it. We would be calling for it for him. Yes. Same way we are calling for Lewandowski. But at the time, you would see that Argentina, it's now left to what happens, because now this is the World Cup season.
It's true, because World Cup is coming up November, December, and you look at the teams that will be playing, and that could actually determine who wins it. But all in all, it's been a wonderful time with you in the studio, Ayo Adams. We've really had a wonderful time talking about AFCON update, Super Eagles for focus, MPFL, not forgetting the match that will be coming up tomorrow in the AFCON. AFCON is in the air, we just have to talk about it, and we're taking Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, not forgetting French League 1, all in a wrap for you on 360 Sport Weekend Sport. From Trust TV, Ayo Adams, I appreciate your time.
My pleasure to be here.
Good one out there. Well, if you're out there watching, we just want to appreciate your time staying glued to your TV, watching Trust TV. We have to appreciate you. And from us to you, there is to say, sport is always business and fitness. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.